Welcome back, everybody. Now, I think we can all agree that 2020 has been a very bad year. Certainly not the worst year on record, but it's been a bad year. But let's take a look back and see what things made 2020 as bad as it was. But we'll also take a look at some of the things that were positive about the year. So for starters, we had the Australian wildfires.
We have more than 100 fires burning across New South Wales at the moment, and half of them are not contained.
Huge, massive wildfires in Australia. And then after that, we got hit by a global pandemic that originated in China. And of course, the pandemic led to shutdowns. We got the shutdowns because some of the hospitals overflowed. Not all hospitals. Some of the hospitals, due to the shutdown and everybody being forced to stay at home, we ended up with nurses dancing on TikTok. A lot of those TikToks, don't get me wrong, they're extremely funny, but it was bad optics. And of course, we had the massive BLM protests. Those all took place during these stay-at-home orders. So it was fine to gather in large crowds to protest, but it was not fine to gather in large crowds at a park, at the beach. So that was kind of interesting. Another thing that happened in the midst of the pandemic was the toilet paper and paper towel going out of stock, selling out in places, and large lines. I'm fortunate enough that we have a Costco membership, and Costco's supply chain never really broke down. Every morning they completely were able to restock our store completely, so we just had to wait in line. We've been standing in line at Costco since about 8:30. It's now shortly after 9:30, and the line is moving. They don't open until 10, so I'm assuming, I've heard that they open a little bit early, or they've been opening a little bit earlier lately. We're hoping to get some toilet paper and possibly some eggs on one day, so that we could get in and get a case of toilet paper. Now, we never ran out. We were probably not necessarily in danger of running out, but again, since we had this membership, it was something. It was easy enough for us to go stand in line and wait and get that case of toilet paper. So we were lucky enough to be able to do that. And then, of course, that led us to, or in the midst of all that, we had murder hornets arriving in the US.
Right when you thought 2020 couldn't get any worse, murder hornets made their big US debut.
And then, of course, we had the California wildfires.
Now, this is known as the Creek Fire. The flames began burning Friday night, and that brought about 800 firefighters to the scene. California has seen record-breaking wildfires this month, with temperatures reaching nearly 50 degrees Celsius this long weekend.
All of these things combined to make 2020, and that was, I think, in just the first 6 months, not a good year. Of course, amongst all that, this is still the bad things that happen. We started to see small businesses closing down in record numbers because when you're forced to stay home and when you're forced to close down your business, and you can't have people eating inside, then of course your profits start to drop, and you're not able to pay your employees. And so basically it's a snowball effect, and small businesses have been closing down. They've been getting hit worse recently because the weather's getting colder, and outdoor dining in certain places has been banned. So businesses are just, they're not able to survive. In fact, amongst all that, the company I work for, I don't work for a restaurant or anything like that, but the company I work for, we experienced a major network outage. That's the story I'm going to stick with. Basically, I woke up to one morning in October, I woke up to all of our servers having been hit, and we had our backups, but we lost everything else. So we had to rebuild from scratch. We survived. We got through it. It took us took my site about 2 months to be fully back up and running, but 2020 even affected me personally. I am fortunate enough, until that point, I am fortunate enough that I was able to work from home. My wife and I were able to work from home. Our kids, they did remote learning, and we are actually not the norm. Most kids and parents are having a lot of problems with remote learning. Our kids are getting along just fine with it. I work in IT though, so I'm able to provide a lot of support and just make it so that they're able to do their classes online. I guess we can go from there and we can start looking at some of the positives. So again, the positive for me was I was able to work from home at least until October. And I found myself having to go into the office every day, working 10 to 12 hour days for at least a week to get our recover from our network outage. I might get into that another video at some point in the future, but for now, that's what we're going to call it. I don't really have a need to go into the office every day. I live fairly close by to work, so if there's an issue that requires me to be there, I can run in there. But otherwise, I'm able to work from home. Some of the other positives that came out of, or at least one other positive I can think of that came out of this year, was the conjunction of Saturn and Jupiter. Once in a lifetime event. A lot of people experienced it. It was pretty amazing to be able to see Saturn and Jupiter that close up. I got some shots through my telescope. That was pretty amazing. My kids got to see it. My wife, everybody enjoyed it. You know, that was a pretty amazing thing to see. I guess another positive is that I learned how to repair bicycles. We got a couple of free bikes. My son's outgrowing his, so we got a couple of free bikes. They need a lot of work, but I'm learning a lot on how to repair them, and I got one of them completely repaired already. Another positive was we got this season 2 of The Mandalorian. And finally, Disney announced a massive amount of new Star Wars shows coming to Disney Plus in the next few years. So it's a good time to be a Star Wars fan. So beyond that, I honestly can't think of, well, for my family, our lives really didn't change that much, despite the stay-at-home orders in California where we live. We continued to go out hiking. We did wear masks anytime we were in crowds or when we went to restaurants, things like that. But we continued to go out hiking and get exercise and get fresh air and things like that. Because there were times when, at least me personally, there were times when it was pretty depressing to just get up, go sit at the computer and do my work. You know, when you do that consistently for several months, it can kind of wear on you. So it was nice to get out of the house and go hiking and be active and things like that. We definitely did, I would say, get healthier. We exercised more. My son and I, we went on bike rides. We're getting ready to do one in the new year, a 20-mile bike ride. Another positive note I did accomplish, I had wanted to do a 10-mile run. I managed to do that before my birthday, so that was awesome. We did manage to get one vacation in where we went out of state. We went to visit my sister in Tennessee. That was fun. It was a mixed bag of things that were open and things that were closed. There was quite a few things that we weren't able to do because of the shutdown orders, but there was a few things that we were able to do. And again, we were safe the whole time. We were following all of the mask orders and things like that. We didn't walk into places that said mask required and then, you know, not wear masks and then argue about it. So yeah, that's our 2020 in review. Looking forward to 2021 being a much better year. All I got to say is good riddance to 2020. Like I said at the beginning, I think we can all agree, it's been a horrible year. It's just been a bad year. Few highlights all around. And I, for one, am glad to see it go. Here's looking forward to 2021 and it being a better year. It's probably not going to start off so great because we're still under lockdown orders. But here's hoping that things improve and get better, and that 2021 is a much better year. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you'd like to add anything to this video, go ahead and comment below. If you like the video, make sure you hit like, and be sure you hit subscribe if you haven't already. And we'll see you in the next one.